I want to talk about water. So, physical activity is, in a way, working with water magic and blood magic. When you physically exert yourself in any way, shape, or form, like your body's constantly sweating. Okay, you're constantly putting out the water, the interstitial water between the cellular bodies inside of yourself. That fluid comes directly from your blood. It's how moisture is transported throughout your body. So sweat is literally the water from the plasma in your blood, okay? Now, when we physically work and we exert that and we release more and more of the water, it goes out, it evaporates out into the world. Some of it's reabsorbed into us, but it goes out and it recombines with the moisture and everything, okay? Now, everyone's familiar with Dr. Yamoto's water experiments and the rice experiments. We know that water seems to act like a dynamic fluid crystal, and it has the ability to change its shape at the very, very basic level based on observation and intention, okay? Or energy, right? So when you do the work and you release your physical moisture back into reality, that's how your energy is actually carried out. That's how your intentional energy is actually carried out into the universe. It's transmitted through the water crystals that you release with your breath, with your sweating, sometimes with literal bleeding or tears even, right? So I think that's really, really a powerful aspect that I need to remember myself. I need to keep that in mind more often as I move forward. But that thinking is what led me into the idea of part of the way that they're washing us out and washing out our powers and keeping us restricted is with the myth that you're supposed to drink 8 glasses of water a day. All right, I'm sorry, that's not, like, drinking just water is not how we've gotten our moisture for most of history, I would think. It's way, way easier to acquire your moisture from eating plants, eating a lot of plant matter and vegetation. It's pre-filtered. It contains vitamins and nutrients, all the fun little stuff that you need to survive, apparently. It contains, like, bacterial and enzymatic activity. And you know that it's purified. Like, you eat a plant that you know you won't have a reaction to, but if you eat that, you know that it's safe because the plant was healthy. The fruit was healthy. It didn't look bad. It didn't smell bad. It didn't seem wrong. It didn't seem dead or dying. If you happen to find a clean, fresh water source, great. But to be honest, it was probably mostly from eating. And if we're mostly made up of water, and water is just a mirror for intentional energies, okay, our consciousness is just conciseness. It's a specified point of interaction, I guess. That would mean that by forcing us to shovel non-hydrated food, the burgers and the fast food and all the other fun shit, you know, and having us convinced that we need to be drinking excessive amounts of water, then you have the issue with caffeination or other heavy drinks, no matter how healthy they are, basically just forcing you to replace your essence with essence that very likely doesn't have a lot of good intentional energy built up into it, you know? Even the best store-bought water, like the spring water, no longer became spring water. It's not spring water anymore once it's removed from the spring, I think. It's would be healthier for sure than drinking regular-ass tap water because of all the shit that gets put into it, but it loses something vitally important the way that it has to get packaged and shipped, you know? That vibrational pattern that comes from the earth comes directly from the earth. It makes sense to me in a way. There's probably some pretty rough holes that can be poked in this whole ideology, but it seems to me that it would be prudent to limit drinking of water and increase intake of fruit and vegetation. And it may be that moisture in that water not only does it have higher and better energy, maybe it would also allow us to function in a state of less wastefulness, less urination, less fucking sweating potentially for being in better shape, you know, and would allow us to retain more of our individuality for longer. We wouldn't be whitewashing ourselves and replacing the moisture constantly, because like if you take in even fresh water with zero intention, your body would still have to go through the process of shoveling energy at it to convert it into a form where it's I don't know, synergistic with your body to actually absorb it, you know? So even at that, then it pushes out already imprinted energy, and it just seems like a waste. Like another one of those weird little resource sinks that they have programmed into our society, that it's not one thing, but it's all the little things all built up, all the weird little decisions that they set up for people to make that keeps them shoveling out so much of their intention and their energy and their willpower that it's no wonder that people end up zombified or walking around in that sleeping state, you know? Anyways, it's probably all I really should have to say about water right now. Peace.